He was born and brought up in Eldoret. He went for further studies in London and later came here in the city of Prague, Czech Republic, to invest in the real estate.
This green building here is where I did my first development in Prague.
Now he's investing back home in real estate and charity.
We bought Nairobi City Stars as the football club and we're doing extremely well there.
Jonathan Jackson is a real estate mogul in Kenya and in Europe. He is the chairman of Lordship Group, whose headquarters is in Prague, but it has subsidiaries including Lordship Africa that is based in Nairobi. Here in Prague, we attended a boardroom meeting on the topmost floor of the Lordship Group offices as Jonathan met a team from an architectural firm that had come here to pitch a new project. But let us shift gears before we delve deeper into Jonathan's business story and give you his other side of life.
Beautiful shot! Oh!
Jonathan is the new owner of Nairobi City Stars through his foundation, that is Jonathan Jackson Foundation. He is spending time on the football pitches to bring a new lease of life in the club that was founded in 2001 as Kawangware United. The club is currently competing in the Kenya National Super League.
We're being very successful in Nairobi City Stars, and this is what I want to show in everything I do. My next real drive now is to start training centers, to really show people, look, we can run training centers and we can help the communities within Nairobi to get jobs.
Jonathan has an eye for sports. He says he's seeing so much potential in Kenya's youth.
When I started my business in Kenya, I was thinking, which charity shall I support and what shall I do? And because I really want to do something in Kenya. And only this year, I eventually said, actually, I'm going to start my own foundation and we will be like ambassadors and we will be a group which can actually be a link between the projects that are in the communities and the big investors. So we are sort of identifying projects, whether it's in sports or arts and culture, training, and one of my passions is to help Kenyans to get jobs, in the communities, because there's so much higher unemployment. So my passion is to try and see how we can improve training skills, skill training in Kenya.
Jonathan, who supports charities in other parts of the world, including Haiti, says he is keen on diversity and he believes transformation can be achieved right at the community level.
We're doing basketball. I want to do basketball courts in all the communities within Nairobi. And we were in Dagoretti North. We started our first basketball construction, and the MP for Dagoretti North came in, and he was very supportive of us, and he's been very helpful to us. And we've started in a school there in Kawangware.
But who is Jonathan Jackson?
I was born in Kenya. I was born in Eldoret. My parents are English, so though my father was born in Kenya as well, so originally from England.
Mm-hmm. Originally from me. Your father was born in Kenya as well?
My father was born in Kenya as well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my father was principal of Masoriot Teachers College, where my father was teaching initially and started the university there. And he also set up many schools in the district within the Nandi area. I did my schooling at Hill School in Eldoret, and then I moved to Turi, and then I came over to London to do my university, and after I finished my university, I actually came to Czechoslovakia, which it was Czechoslovakia in those days. I did my degree in business management, specialized in construction. So when I came here, I said, okay, you know, it was just after communism. There was no modern office space. It was all in old communist style. And there were a lot of companies wanting to come and sort of start their businesses here. And so it was a great opportunity where I could rent one apartment, paint it, put some new lights in it, a new carpet in it. And so I could rent it for around 12 Deutschmarks a square meter. Deutschmarks in those days, and we were subleasing it for around 70 Deutschmarks. So there was a huge spread between what I could rent it for and sublease it for. So I rented several apartments like that, and that's how I started my business.
The Czech Republic is a landlocked country with 10.7 million inhabitants. Prague, which is its capital and largest city, has 1.3 million residents. Prague is locally called Praha. As Jonathan walks me through his business journey in Prague, one thing he emphasizes is that successful business people begin small and are patient, as success does not come in a day.
This green building here is where I did my first development in Prague.
Your first
My
development
very first
in-
development in Prague,
Wow, it must be nostalgic too.
It is nostalgic,
Yeah.
and the second floor down,
Yeah.
I rented it, the apartment, I painted it, put carpets in, some new lighting, and I subleased it for a very high rent. So I was making a margin on the difference between the rent I pay and the rent I was collecting, a very high margin.
Which
So-
year was that?
That was in 1990.
1990. I was
know.
in Form 4.
So here, Alex, we got this building here is my hotel. I've sold it now, but I developed it, and it was an old office building and belonging to the bank. And we put all the tenants in here. We ran it as our own hotel
Okay.
for 4 years, but I realized that I'm not a hotel operator. I'm not a good operator. So in the end, I found a German group to come in, and they rented it from us. So they basically rent the building and manage it themselves. But this was the prime building, and then this one here, this one we also developed as well. This corner,
Property.
this corner one, we developed this.
The entire.
The entire thing, which is retail on the ground floor and offices above. And then we sold that one to an Austrian fund.
Okay.
So an Austrian fund bought that one off us. And this one we sold to a private investor.
Jonathan indeed has a daring story, yet we have only scratched the surface so far. Our visit to Prague coincided with the realization of yet another big project. Yes, the opening of a shopping mall that added yet another chapter to his property profile.
This district of Prague, there is nothing similar to this at all, and you have to actually travel quite far to get to a shopping center. And that's why, you know, as we always talk about, location, location, location. So this location is unique for this part of Prague.
In terms of the uniqueness of this design, can it be replicated in Nairobi?
Well, certainly, Alex, I hope to replicate it in Nairobi. It's my intention to replicate it in Nairobi. We're already working in Nairobi on 1 or 2 projects where we want to build a shopping center.
Remember, Jonathan is the investor behind the Nairobi 88 Apartments, an upcoming project in Nairobi's Upper Hill that is set to become the tallest high-end residential building in sub-Saharan Africa. He has footprints in Karen too, where Lordship Africa has put up this project, a master-planned gated community with 60 fully serviced 1-acre plots and houses.
We have the main spine road here, where you have little roads going off each side, and each one we've labelled different names. This is the ridge, because as you can see we're on the top of the hill. And over there you can see the Ngong Hills.
I can see Ngong Hills. Yes,
And unfortunately today it's a little bit cloudy, but hopefully it will lift. Usually the view is beautiful. You can see the all Ngong Hills. It's very, very nice. This is one of the 1 acre plots. You can see this is very beautiful. The tree here is absolutely lovely. We've kept all the trees. So from the very beginning, we kept all the original trees to be able to make sure, and we have very strict regulations that you cannot cut trees down. And so keeping the trees is very important.
So all said and done, what is the difference between investing in the real estate in Kenya and Czech Republic?
Kenya has been independent for now nearly 60 years. So it's had an open economy for a very long time. It's been a democratic country. So I think business has grown steadily over many, many years. So you've got a very good foundation in terms of open economy business.
For the Eldoret-born real estate mogul, east or west, Kenya is the best.
Nairobi is my home, and here in Prague and Czech Republic, it's been a place where I've been lucky to be very successful, made some very good money, made some good projects. But now I really see myself giving back into Kenya what I have learned, helping to see how we can improve Kenya.
Quite an inspiring story there, and daring abroad, always exclusive, always informative. Let's do it again next Saturday, same time. From Prague City, I'm Alex Chamada. Bye-bye.